Yo, we're here at CollectorZown. Get in the zone! And I got my posse with me, Fee with me. What's up? Pate, Mike, Beth, Flippy came back.
What's up?
We're gonna go up in here. Marco said he got a bunch of new statues, so we're gonna check it out. This is my third time coming to CollectorZown. It's actually the third annual Statue Con, but I was here for the grand opening, then Gem Con earlier this year, and now Statue Con 2025. And it's cool to see this place just get filled out more and more every time I'm there. It's like the only place that you could really go and just see a wide selection of statues. I could only think of a handful of galleries, and that's across the world. So the big new reveal had to be the PCS 1/3 scale Knull on Throne. This thing was so crazy, but I already know I don't have the space for this. Old Gem would have ate this up right away. Now, even though it is enormous, it's actually not that deep. The depth isn't too bad. The portrait was humongous. I loved all the detail on Knull, the teeth, the eyes, the hair. You could tell this is going to be a huge portrait holding it in your hand. But highly detailed throughout the whole piece. The only thing, the Necro sword, maybe not as detailed for some reason, but that was just a nitpick. I think all the wrappings, the armor on the legs, all of it looked amazing. The loincloth, definitely the standout piece from StatueCon 2025. First time getting to see Sideshow's Archangel in person. Now with Archangel, I was never too excited for this. I think most collectors, when they think Archangel, you want a dynamic piece with the wingspan showing like an impressive pose or something to that effect. And this one really just gave us a museum pose, masterfully sculpted by Daniel Bell. I'm not mad. You got all the skulls on the base, different types of creatures. You have an impressive character design with Archangel. I love the 4 sets of wings, or I guess you should say 2 sets. With the classic portrait, they have the unmasked Warren Worthington III, which is a mouthful to say. The unmasked portrait looks great, and they even have the death portrait as well. The only thing, I feel like the wings, man, they didn't look as metallic as they even look on the box. I don't know if I love the material used for the wings. I'm sure it was to help with breakages and such, but it was giving me a little bit of a plastic vibe. But it is an impressive piece. It's a very tall piece. It commands your attention when you walk in the room. So I do like it overall. There were some nitpicks that I had about it. Here's a better look at the wings. It has a good paint job, but the material, the kind of dull shine, I didn't love. And they even included a 3rd portrait, the Death, one of the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse portrait, which I was kind of surprised they included. Here's another new one that I don't have on order. It's the Mystique premium format. She's got her hand changing into, what is it, one of the workers at the lab or what have you. Soft colors on the face. I always dug the paint job on this. Big, large weapon. She's sitting down, got one leg cocked up. You got the small light up feature on the bottom of the base. Looks pretty cool, and I liked how they had it high up, way above Archangel. It was nice positioning. Now, we did see this one last time. There goes Flippy in the background. And this video is mostly just for the new stuff. But the half-scale Tom Holland Iron Spider from Queen Studios with the unmasked portrait displayed. Last time, I believe they had the masked portrait on display. But seeing him was incredible. Again, we've seen this one, but the lit up Ghost Rider PF always catches my attention. I do have the classic variant coming in, so I'm going to be working on this Sideshow light up PF display on top of the Calyx. This one is one that was never on my radar. It is an original IP, I believe. It's the Succubus from Sideshow, and I think it's 1/5 scale, but man, this one grabbed everyone's attention. Not for the obvious reasons, but it's just such a well-done statue, man, from the wings to the base, the blood. Very cool. It's just not something that I would personally collect. I really have to have more of a personal attachment to the character to go for a statue, but very cool. There's a couple of these that we'll see throughout this tour. Another first time seeing in person, and this is one that I liked way more in person. Shout out to Pate in the back. But the Rogue premium format, I really liked the simplicity of it, but then sculpting her pulling off her glove and giving that illusion that it's, leather or whatever material, fabric material, which it's not. So I thought that was really well done. You got the curves on Rogue, broken sentinel piece. I just don't love the portrait as much as I do the previous iteration, which we'll see here as well. But Just another look at the paint job on the Sentinel hand. They've perfected that by now. Another Rogue piece. This is the Gambit and Rogue in Love Happy Gambit 1/5 scale Dio. Was tempted to get this one for fee, but I kind of just let it go. Nice little artistic piece. Maybe we should still get it for fee, man. She loves Rogue and Gambit. You got the translucent energy with the cards. She's in the air. It was a nice piece. All right, this was another new reveal. So I'm not a Star Wars guy, but you really had to appreciate the design choice and the engineering that went into this. So Luke stepping out of the X-Wing, and you can see there's this pole that holds it up. So what you're looking at is the in-house Sideshow prototype with the in-house paint, the in-house mixed media with all the fabric on the costume. And this is actually the newer version. This is, I guess you would call it the production piece, showing how this door is able to float without that support beam. And they actually disassembled this, and it's super light, but it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like plastic. They just had that poly resin mix to such a concoction where it can be lightweight but still feel like a statue. It's even detailed on the other side, as we'll come around and see. And it's kind of cool how it's like this picture, it's a piece of art recreated into a 3D statue without the whole ship. So here you can see the insides of the unpainted version. Very cool. All the little knobs and fixings. Looks like an AC on the back. But then the painted version really shows you how much detail they're going to be able to get into the final version. They really nail it when it comes to ships and that kind of weathered metal look, even like this rocket kind of thing on the bottom. Amazing job with the paint. I'm sure Star Wars fans are going to love this. Don't love Star Wars, but I could appreciate this piece for sure. So this is another one from Sideshow's original line, and this was sculpted and designed by Will Harbottle. I think he did both. He was here. We got a quick interview with him, and Will has done so many of the classics, which we'll talk about. But this one, you have the octopus tentacles coming up out of this ship, the big metal door, all the suction cups. Another piece that's like, man, I don't have an attachment to the character, but it is a beautiful piece of art. Nice action scene. Quick shout out to Gina Carano. I forget if this was Iron Studios or Sideshow, but I remember they released the pre-order right around the time her scandal was going down, and I was like, ugh, sucks to be them. But here it is. It got released, and I think she just won her lawsuits, funny enough. So Mandalorian vibes. Then we have the Fantastic Four minus the Human Torch from Iron Studios. Figured I'd get a shot of this. It was cool to see the Fantastic Four in statue form. We've been waiting to see that for like decades, it seems like. No Torch, but you got the Four with Franklin Richards here. All right, another one from Iron Studios. I don't typically like the movie pieces, but this set doesn't even feel like movie statues. You've got Deadpool in quarter scale, the Legacy replica. It's funny, like the movie Deadpool is kind of now the comic version of Deadpool. Funny how that worked out. And then it has a companion piece. Of course, here's the box. And then you have Wolverine on the other side in the MCU costume with the mask for the first time. Again, because they're masked up, it doesn't feel like the movie version of a character. I don't see Hugh Jackman when I see this piece. I just see Wolverine. So pretty cool. You have a couple different arm switch outs, and even the boxes go together on the front and back to make the heart. All right, and then from Resident Evil The Village, Lady D. I think I got all that right. I actually never played this game. I remember the character, of course. Yeah, here you go, The Village. And this must be 1/3 scale, I'm assuming. Huge piece over in the Pure Arts section. We didn't get much from Pure Arts. They had a lot of the Assassin's Creed stuff that we've seen last time, but I did capture one other piece. You got to appreciate the mixed media on this, the weathered, dirty looking dress, that smirk, the white makeup, and of course the big claws. Very cool. Now I had to highlight this one. I think I'm just gonna go on record and say I think this is still the best quarter scale Spider-Man statue, at least licensed, on the market. This is, I think, their second premium format technically. And then Will Harbottle was talking about it on how this was such a unique thing at the time, standing on the hand. This piece holds up. If you guys missed out on any of those San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, look no further than That Spider-Man booth on Whatnot. They've got the Invincible Universe Battle Beast exclusive by Ryan Otley, the Marvel Swimsuit Special by Rose Besh, and they even got that rare Jim Lee Hush 2 black and white cover. Make sure to bookmark That Spider-Man booth's upcoming shows and give them a follow. Here's another one from that original Sideshow line, and this was by Will Harbottle, because I believe we talked about this one. Man, the anatomy, the sculpt on this one is crazy, and it's so realistic, but then you have this perspective base with the stairs going into the distance, taking you out of the realism. It's almost like a painting in person. It's crazy. This got to be like, I don't know, half scale Stan Lee. This is from Iron Studios, but it's blown up. As you can see, the chibi pieces next to it. I thought this was super cool. I could see myself having this somewhere in the setup, just kind of chilling by the books. And here's that other pure arts piece that I was mentioning. You have the flash, the mask, or the cowl, whatever you want to call it, but with the crazy light up features. So I figured I'd capture this. You got Dan in the back there. I think he was live streaming or something. All right, everybody, we are here with designer and sculptor extraordinaire Will Harbottle and Day One Gemini Jerry Bourne. What's up, fellas?
How's it going, man?
We're chilling at CollectorZown. I wanted to ask Will your top 3 favorite Sideshow pieces that you personally worked on.
Oh, wow, okay.
I did not give him prep for this question.
No. Yeah, that's good. Deja Thoris.
Deja Thoris.
That was a dream project for me. It was, you know, I grew up with John Carter and all that stuff, so that was a dream.
Will, that statue is the most viewed video I have on this channel.
Oh, it's a naked lady, man.
we were cheating a little bit on that one. All right. So Deja number 1.
Yeah, I really had a good time with Rogue. I love the gag of her flying and stuff like that. I thought
that was such a great piece on her flying like that.
I'm not gonna say Thanos because that's too easy.
Thanos on Throne's great.
I'm gonna go Voltron.
Oh, Voltron?
Yeah, that was a super challenging piece, and it was really fun and rewarding. I didn't know the character when I started.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it while I was working on it. And
okay.
So, yeah, I guess
slept on piece.
Yeah.
Jerry, I'm going to give you a little bit of a broader range. Top 3 Sideshow pieces. Top 3 of all time. Any sculptor, any designer.
Top 3 Sideshow. Well, I'm going to pick Will's pieces here.
There are wrong answers here.
I'm going to pick Will's
pieces. You could be a little bit biased.
I'm going to pick my favorite Will pieces.
Okay. If you got favorite Will pieces.
All right. So we were just talking about Elektra.
Okay.
Yeah.
The most recent one?
No, the one before it.
The one where
she's on the church.
Yeah.
It came out with Daredevil, like a companion piece.
Right. And they also did a Shadowlands variant.
Right.
Yep.
That one. I'm a big fan of Deja Thoris. My daughter's not such a fan.
My wife wasn't a big fan either.
So
the wives hate Deja.
I've got a special project going on with that's probably a year in the making.
Will authorized. I love that. I love your idea.
Okay.
And I love the fastball special.
Yeah.
You know, that's from my days in the X-Men.
Yeah,
so
great piece. Nice.
I love that.
And
piece.
they offered it quarter scale, which was kind of a new thing.
Yeah. I hope we do more of that. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think of that?
Chat in the comments below. Quarter scale dials or not?
And both versions. Like, do you want to see 2 sides?
1/6 as well. I know you got the option. Yeah. Was that 3, Jerry?
That was 3.
All right, guys, we're gonna go walk around a little bit. Peace. Yeah, big shout out to Will and Jerry Bourne. Now, this is the quarter scale Michael Jordan from PCS, and I really had high hopes for this line. I mean, I don't collect sports stuff, but I kind of figured he was gonna do like what Todd McFarlane did with action figures and go into sports and open up a whole new market. But I don't know, I guess there just weren't a lot of NBA basketball player collectors like that. It sounds crazy. I think he said he's still doing Jordan stuff, but as far as NBA, I don't know if they're gonna be doing that or if I'm even supposed to be saying this actually. Just forget everything I just said. But here's the quarter scale Jordan. Looks cool, I could appreciate it, but not something I personally collect. And this is my first time seeing this one in person too, the quarter scale Gladiator Hulk from the MCU. So another movie piece, but man, I think you could put this in your collection as a regular Hulk piece. You don't really hear too many people talking about it, but it's not often that Iron Studios does quarter scale and up, and to do such a large character. Check out all the detail in the weapons. You have the big axe in his right hand, that big hammer in his left, all the Gladiator Hulk garb, kind of a small base. So even though it's a big piece, it's kind of got a modest footprint to it. You can see that whole Ragnarok aesthetic around the brim, all the rubble and debris. Paint job looks good. Yeah, quarter scale Gladiator Hulk. Check this out real quick. So Marcos and Steven are working on a project. They're making their own display cases. So figured I'd get this really quick. You have these magnetic plexiglass around all sides. They stack, they connect. It's kind of a prototype work in progress thing, but very cool. A lot of ideas of what you could do for backgrounds and side pieces. So we figured we'd highlight this here. Definitely a cool idea, a lot of potential. Got some figures in there now. Here's us at the Friday night dinner. This was actually the second dinner, but it was at this big ballroom. You saw the dance floor there. This is right before I challenged everyone to break dancing and I won the comp. No, I'm just joking. But nobody was on the dance floor. But shout out to DJ Hercules. He had the music loud AF. But that was the first dinner. And then the next dinner, I didn't get any footage, but we do have this big group picture from the end of the night. So that was cool. Big Saturday night dinner. Most of our evenings looked like this. We were hanging around the fire. We had a blast chilling with friends, meeting people in person for the first time. A lot of great statues. Big thanks to Marcos and everybody at StatueCon. And thank you guys for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.